What is up, guys? I'm George Mossey. This is the Family Chantel Season 4, Episode 8 podcast recap. Grab a drink, grab a snack. A lot happened. You might actually need to grab a napkin too if you're sensitive. So we are going to jump in and start unpacking this episode of the Family Chantel. Now, you know, we have been watching Chantel and Pedro's marriage and relationship deteriorate right before our eyes, but one person who has been trying to get involved and make sure that that doesn't happen is Miss Karen. Miss Karen has been spending a lot of time trying to break down Chantel's walls, but Chantel has definitely put up a wall around everyone outside of her marriage and refuses to give anyone any information on what's going on and refuses literally any help or even to talk about it to make herself feel better, making Miss Karen feel helpless and unable to be there for her daughter. After the bar confrontation with Chantel and Pedro's co-workers, Pedro has to go back to work feeling completely embarrassed. He feels that all of his dirty laundry has been aired all over the office, and he doesn't even have a leg to stand on because he feels like everything going on in his relationship is now pertinent information to everyone in the office, and he can't escape his own problems because they have been brought to work with him. Feeling uncomfortable around his co-workers, Pedro has decided to apologize to Antonella as well as his boss Laura and everyone else who was present at the bar scene with Chantel, but his co-workers don't really feel like an apology is needed. They just want them to handle their problems at home and try not to let them spill over at work. Pedro feels that Chantel doesn't want him to grow, and the way that she reacted at the bar, he feels that she has really messed up. Let's take a trip over to the Dominican Republic. So we know that Alejandro came over to win back Nicole's heart. What we did not know is that after he left, Lydia became aware of his presence, and she was aware that Nicole and Alejandro were spending time together. This, as you know, did not blow over well, and Lydia had some choice words for her daughter Nicole, saying that she was embarrassed of her, ashamed of her, and that Nicole doesn't value herself after all of the things Alejandro had put her through. Hearing these things from someone who is very, very important in your life can take a very huge mental toll on you. As we watch in a scene, Nicole breaks down feeling as though she doesn't have any support and she doesn't have anyone to tell her that it's going to be okay, and no one approves of the lifestyle that she chose. Being told by your own mother that you don't live up to her expectations on a daily basis can really be emotionally draining. If that wasn't enough, Nicole drops an atomic bomb on us and tells us that during the week that Alejandro was in the Dominican Republic and they were patching things up and opening the lines of communication, they actually were intimate together and Nicole ended up pregnant. That's right, Nicole was pregnant with Alejandro's baby, and she also had no one to tell. Not only was she alone, she couldn't tell her mother, she didn't even tell Karaima, she told no one but Alejandro. In a horrific turn of events, Nicole informs us as well as Alejandro that the baby that she was carrying did not make it and she suffered a miscarriage. This was a very intense scene because Nicole found herself alone in a clinic with no one there, no support, no one to hold her hand, and no one to really tell her that things were going to be okay. It made Nicole realize that the life that she lives isn't really one where she can be herself. She can't be supported and she can't make decisions that her mom Lydia will not agree with. After arriving home from work, Chantel and Pedro have a conversation about the bar scene that happened the night before. Chantel has had some time to think about what happened, and Pedro has had some time at work to discuss with his coworkers how sorry he is, and he also had some time to think about the events that took place. Chantel, realizing that a separation is the first step to a divorce, offers up an apology for the way that she reacted to Pedro's co-workers and the way that she aired his dirty laundry out in front of them. Although the apology was definitely necessary, it was not enough to get Pedro to understand why she did it. Chantel reveals to Pedro that she feels pathetic because in actuality, she has to beg Pedro for attention and beg Pedro for love and get nothing in return. And she said, as a woman, it makes you feel pathetic and it makes you feel as though you aren't valued. Pedro's reaction to that statement was she's never trying to make anything better. She always wants to make the situation worse. Pedro also feels that Chantel did not react to the separation in a positive way, but I do want to go and say I'm on Chantel's side here. Anyone would react to a separation or request for a separation in this way, especially if it's not something that you want. A lot of times a separation is something that one partner wants and the other partner does not. So no one is really going to go in it with an open mind and a smile on their face. Pedro also reveals to us that absolutely nothing has changed in the way that he is treating Chantel since he returned from the Dominican Republic. He said that things actually changed when he enrolled in real estate classes and started making friends and expanding his horizon and learning new things and learning a skill. He said that that's when he feels that the change took place. Pedro feels it's time for him to figure out his own path and his own way of happiness, even if Chantel is not in that path. You know that Winter has had her weight loss surgery. She's lost over 100 pounds and she has a newfound confidence. So last week she was dating a guy named Chris, and this week we learned that she's dating a guy named Zach. She met Zach on a Christian dating app, which is actually the same place that she met Chris, because Christianity is very important to Winter, and if she finds a man, that has to be very important to him as well. Winter informs us that on her dates, she likes to transform into Bad Girl Winnie, which is an alter ego that she has given herself, which is full of confidence, self-worth, and desire to be loved, appreciated, and respected. I definitely love this side of Winter, and I am so happy to see her grow in such a positive way. Although the cooking date with Zach went well, they did cook great food together, she didn't feel the passion that she needs from a man, and she will not be seeing Zach again. This is not the last that we will see Winter dating. As you know, Mossey lasted for a while, Chris, and now Zach. Keep looking for Mr. Right, Winter. He is out there. We are rooting for you. We learned that Chantel goes to the gym 3 times a week, and we also learned that Pedro used to go to the gym with her. A gym routine is definitely something that keeps a couple close, together, motivated, and focused on each other. Now that Pedro is no longer going to the gym with Chantel, she had to get a new gym partner, which is her best friend Destiny. And Destiny was filled in on how things went at the bar scene with Pedro's coworkers and Chantel. And even though Destiny is proud of Chantel for doing that and stepping up and being there, she does feel like the emotions that Chantel showed was not necessarily the best way to get to know his coworkers. Destiny also feels that it's very hard to believe that Pedro just woke up one day and decided he no longer was in love with Chantel. She feels that there's some sort of sense of resentment, and she wants to get to the bottom of it just as much as Chantel does. And we did learn from Pedro on this episode that he feels that Chantel is being selfish, and he has put his life on hold so Chantel could go to nursing school and follow her dreams, all while he was forced to work in a warehouse for a very prolonged period of time. We feel that that is part of the resentment that Destiny is sensing. Chantel then drops the ball on us and Destiny and tells us that she wants to fly to the Dominican Republic unannounced to spend time with Lydia, Pedro's mother, and repair her relationship. Although Destiny stresses to her that Lydia and Nicole are a package deal, Chantel does say that she is not ready to patch things up with Nicole and has no interest in dealing with Nicole while she is there. Although Destiny thinks that this is a recipe for disaster, she does support Chantel, and Chantel does inform us that she will not inform anyone in her family that she will be going to the Dominican Republic to repair her relationship with Lydia. It is a solo mission, and we are very worried because we know every situation between Lydia and Chantel's family has been very intense, and it can get dangerous at times. So we are very worried about the outcome of this situation. That's it, guys. That's what happened on this episode of The Family Chantel. Make sure you're live tweeting with me every Monday night so we can react to the show together as it happens. Make sure you tune in next week as we see Chantel make a trip to the Dominican Republic to surprise Pedro's mom, Lydia, and work on repairing their relationship. Thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, George Mossey. Thanks for joining us, and I'll talk to you all really soon.